Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is a far superior version to the movie that we originally got back in 2017. Gone now are the quickly edited action sequences, Henry Cavill's bizarre upper CGI lip, and probably one of the most depressing opening sequences of any superhero movie ever. That's not to say that I disliked that movie. In fact, there were actually a lot of things that I enjoyed about it. But the biggest problem with that movie was that it was really hindered by its 2-hour runtime. It just wasn't given an adequate enough length to tell its story properly. When you have a lot of characters that you're trying to give screen time to, while also introducing new ones, and also throwing in a planetary threat with an evil villain, a lot of that important character development ends up being cut out, and the movie ends up feeling very rushed. But now that Zack Snyder was able to show us the original footage that he shot for the film, plus shoot additional material to complete his version of it, I can honestly say that this is much better by leaps and bounds. This movie is a full 4 hours long, and it actually went by pretty quickly, which surprised me. For about the first 2 hours, both movies are pretty similar plot-wise, although now because they're not trimmed down, a lot of the plot has more room to breathe, and a lot of the scenes actually make more sense because they're not cut down for runtime. After about the first 2 hours, though, is when we start seeing a lot of new footage. And actually the ending is quite different and much more compelling this time than it was before. Zack Snyder's version picks up right near the end of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, with Superman's death after his fight with Doomsday. Bruce Wayne and Diana Prince don't realize it at the time, but the death of Earth's one and only Kryptonian protector will have dire consequences for mankind. The event ends up triggering the arrival of Steppenwolf, who seeks out 3 mother boxes scattered across the Earth, which, when united, will obliterate and terraform the Earth in the form of the home planet of the dreaded Darkseid. And here's where we have one of the biggest differences between these two films. Darkseid is prominently featured in the Snyder Cut, whereas before he was only just sort of referenced. This shouldn't be much of a spoiler since Darkseid was shown in the trailers leading up to this release. Darkseid replaces Steppenwolf in the flashback sequence depicting an ancient battle on Earth, where heroic and mythic figures successfully defeated Darkseid and his forces from a planetary takeover, causing him to retreat. So Bruce and Diana set off to recruit other metahumans, the Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman, to face the impending threat. A major benefit of the longer runtime is that we get to see more character development with both the Flash and Cyborg, and we actually end up caring more about these characters this time around. Barry Allen has an interesting encounter with someone he comes to the rescue of during a traffic accident. Cyborg has a more in-depth backstory showing his promising football career and how it was tragically upended. And then we see him struggle with his transformation and his strained relationship with his father. But what I really like about this version is that the characters are just portrayed better here. The Flash doesn't doubt himself like he did in the first version. He's much more confident and sure of himself. Plus we don't have all this infighting between Diana and Bruce when Bruce decides that the only chance that they have of defeating this threat is by resurrecting Superman. Plus, we get some cameos from some DC characters we haven't seen before, and we get a great follow-up to the nightmare sequence in Dawn of Justice, which really makes me wish that a sequel to this gets made at some point. There's a lot more tension toward the end of the movie because it takes more than just Superman to save the day like it did in the previous version. Here, the movie really stresses the importance of the specific powers of each member of the Justice League in their confrontation with Darkseid. And in the end, they really do feel like much more of a team. I did have some issues with the movie though, some of the smaller ones being a sequence where Aquaman is walking down the dock in slow motion. The music was changed in the Snyder Cut, and I actually liked the previous music choice that was used in the first version. And also the change in Steppenwolf's voice. I actually liked it better beforehand, not here in the Snyder Cut. It just seemed to be more of a generic bad guy voice. My biggest issue with the movie is the format. It's not widescreen, it's 4:3, which I thought was an unusual choice for an epic superhero team-up movie. I remember when the trailer got released and the new footage was presented this way, I thought to myself, no way is this going to be the format of the final version of this film. Boy, was I wrong. This ended up being quite distracting for the first hour of the movie. Overall, the movie is a very satisfying and fun superhero flick. It just operates on a much higher level than the first version that we got. It's darker, there's more suspense, thanks in large part to Darkseid's role in the movie. There were also plenty of surprises throughout. By the time the whole thing was over, I just wanted to see more. Zack Snyder's Justice League gets a 9 out of 10. Thank you so much for checking out my review. Please be sure to give the video a quick thumbs up, and please subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.